Hey, Wrestle fans. You're listening to the Wednesday Night War podcast, episode 6, Silver Spoons. As soon as I press record.
Well, fucker, you have to tell me. And so I'm not singing LL Cool J.
As soon as I start.
Did you know LL Cool J Walking with the Panther was the first CD I ever owned?
Wow. All right.
Well, you would know that about me if you paid attention to our Facebook back and forth last year. Day 16, first CD you owned.
Oh, wow. All right. Well,
that was in April. That wasn't last year.
Yeah, no.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Just let me know when.
I mean, I'm still recording,
Okay,
so.
well, give me the ixnay and I'll shut up,
Just stop talking.
I'm done.
I don't think you are. What's up, Warheads? Week 6. Right, Brett?
Yes, DJ.
Oh, thank you
week
for
6.
talking. Thank you for joining. I didn't think you were going to talk there.
Well, you told me not to.
I didn't tell you not to.
You jerk.
I know. All right. So, week 6, Wednesday Night War. Welcome. Welcome to the show.
What's up, y'all?
We got a lot to talk about.
We do.
We do. It's a ton. I was just going to introduce ourselves, but what's the point now? It just seems awkward.
I mean, we do. Everything we do is awkward.
That is true. All right. So, we're just going to get into it then.
Yeah. Let's start talking.
Tons of stuff. Probably going to be a long show because there is a lot of wrestling and wrestling-related material.
Strap in, folks.
Tons. So just get ready. I'm sorry. It's just going to happen. It's going to be long.
Get ready.
Get ready for this talk because a lot has happened. We're starting with the just NXT basically dominating a company, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about something that we don't normally talk about, which is Friday Night SmackDown.
Yes.
If you've been living under a rock and have not seen what happened with the situation in Saudi Arabia.
What happened in Saudi Arabia?
I'm not going to go into it.
Okay.
You can Google it yourself.
Google.
If you don't know,
Yeah.
now you know.
There's a lot of sand over there. It's like a desert, right?
It is.
Okay.
I'm proud of you for knowing that. What
I
do you
mean,
do
I'm a
with your-
geography master.
You know, you're also a master of karate and friendship.
That is true. It's very true.
So they all got stuck.
Yes.
A lot of he said, she said, what happened.
Sure.
End of the day, they were not able to miss, or
Exactly.
not able to make their flights.
No matter which crazy billionaire's fault it was, that's not ours to discuss either way.
Yes.
But they were stuck in Saudi Arabia for an extra day, hours, whatever.
It was something crazy. It was nuts, but on the bright side of things, we did result in getting some extra material to talk about this week.
Because most of the SmackDown roster was trapped in Saudi Arabia and
Yes.
missed the show in Buffalo.
Yeah, I feel terrible for them, first of all. That's awful for those people.
Missing their kids.
That's
a lot of them missed Halloween.
Terrible.
Awful
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, you feel really bad for those.
One of 2 billionaires involved. Maybe one or both at fault.
Yeah. So SmackDown this week had a little extra flavor to it.
Yes.
Started off, I don't know, something with Brock was in the back, and who shows up there to see him walk by but Trips.
Yeah.
Pans over. Oh, HBK's there wearing his NXT jumpsuit.
Yes.
Which resulted in, at the end of the match between Bayley and Nikki Cross, Shayna Baszler arrives to beat up everyone.
Yes.
You're going, oh boy, what's happening?
Quieted the crowd right away.
Yeah.
Everybody just shut up. So they had to fill the roster with NXT people. They flew up, I would say, most of the roster.
They flew up a lot of the roster.
And it was announced before this that they were going to take part in Survivor Series, right?
Yeah, it was announced saying Ross versus SmackDown versus NXT.
Yeah.
Which you're like, okay, they'll get into it eventually. This just spearheaded everything to kick it off.
So what you're saying is the Saudi Arabia thing ended up being just a happy little accident.
Yeah, that's all.
And everything worked out in the end because they got the hype up NXT.
Yeah. So Shayna showed up and beat everybody up.
Yep.
Matt Riddle and Keith Lee showed up to beat up Sami Zayn.
Oh, poor Sami Zayn.
I know. I feel
Super
awful
talented
for
guy,
him.
and he just gets beat up.
Yeah, Miz was there doing his thing, which Ciampa shows up, challenges him to a match and gets the win over Miz. Pretty good.
That's not a matchup that I would have picked. But
Me neither, but you got to go with what you have. What's available.
Literally, which wrestlers were in the country.
Yeah.
Good.
Thankfully, one wrestler that was in the country was Daniel Bryan. He confronted Triple H and HBK backstage saying, Tripp said, I'm sitting at home watching this show and I hear we get called out for a fight. Bryan says, okay, I'll fight.
Yeah.
And we see, okay, I have somebody who will fight you.
HBK takes his...
That is true.
He goes to take his jacket off.
Which is funny because then
Trips is like, I didn't bring my gear, which we all know is bullshit. He's a wrestler. He has his gear.
Yeah.
If he's a respectable wrestler, he has his gear.
Yeah.
And then like HBK goes to unzip his thing, and I was like, this is what they're going to... Like, they're really going to give me Daniel Bryan versus HBK?
Oh, it'd be nuts.
And then I was like, oh, wait, no, they won't do that.
Yeah.
Sean's retired.
Yeah, but he did go against Mr. Adam Cole.
Baby.
And they made it for the NXT title, which instantly, we were out on Friday night, and I showed you on the phone. We're going, oh, shit, I can't wait to get home.
Yeah. It's first time ever. It's funny to think that Daniel Bryan versus Adam Cole, first time ever, was on SmackDown.
Yeah, they never crossed paths.
Yeah, they never crossed paths.
Because Bryan was like that little generation before Cole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they were both on the Indies together at the time, but Cole wasn't what he became at
it's
the
just
time,
a funny thing. Like, you don't often get two indie darlings in their first match ever on a SmackDown.
Yeah. They shot backstage with Bianca Belair absolutely beating the hell out of Carmella and this generation's Ricky Steamboat, Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
Just beating them up. In the ring, you had Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, which I'm a big Sonya fan. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And they just get the hell beat out of them by Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox. Did you see the part of the match where Tegan threw Sonya into Renee Young and Renee
she got booted in the face. Yep. She had bloody nose, she said, booted in the face.
I'm like, damn.
Because even the announce team was different because...
Well, it was weird because like, they started off with that Aiden English, but then Pat McAfee joined. And I saw somewhere it was like... Man, he like called like Shayna like
the Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts, and it was just like, "Yep, you're out of here, bud."
Yep.
Let's put in the guy that wears jorts.
Yeah. He played football, right?
Yeah, he's a punter for the Colts.
He's
like bigger than he's ever been. He's like he's done some WWE like NXT panels and stuff before, but it was weird because they were like kind of portraying him to be like part of NXT. Because we'll mention it. Then main event time, Cole and Bryan.
Yeah.
They tore the house down, I thought. I thought it was great. Adam Cole got the win.
He did.
I was like, whoa, super shocked.
Yeah, the bump off the Spider German was really gross.
It was bad.
Yeah. The one thing out of this whole that I wish we had gotten, and maybe we'll get at a later date, and you had mentioned I am also a fan of Sonya Deville.
Yes.
I wish we got her and Ripley squaring off.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of a better match. They didn't really spend any time together against each other, which is a shame because they both are badasses.
Yeah, I like both.
And they
of them
really could have went for it. So that was a missed opportunity, but we might get it again.
Yeah.
Thank God that Bianca Belair beat up Carmella and
Mrs. Steamboat,
Dana Brooke, the Ricky Steamboat of her generation. Oh man, I hate Dana Brooke so much.
You all right?
Oh, I hate her so much.
Well, afterwards, Cole and Bryan, they went like 20 minutes. It
was great.
Great match. Yep. It was seriously awesome. Trips gathered all the troops in the ring. You had like a bunch of people come out that weren't on the show.
Yeah.
I think they just kind of put them there to be like, hey, just in case, you know. Basically said, hey, you want a war? You got a war. Yep. We are NXT, that whole spiel.
Yeah.
That's what was weird. Like, even McAfee got in the ring with them and stuff.
Weird.
I was like, I didn't know he's like an ambassador, but hell of a way to kick it off.
Yeah.
First time I've cared about SmackDown in a long time.
I haven't watched SmackDown. I haven't watched one on Fox yet, even though it's only been a few weeks.
I watched the first one just because Rocky was there.
But I haven't watched in months. And I recorded, and when I heard they were going to sub in all the NXT guys, so I hit record before we left for the night. And I really liked it. It's a happy. It really is ended up being like a happy accident. It really kind of gave a shot in the arm to the whole angle leading up to Survivor Series, the whole NXT invasion thing. It's just it's pretty hot right now. Like it's heating up. People are excited about it.
I'm happy that they had them
worked.
come in and just win everything.
Yeah.
Nobody looked weak.
Yeah, you don't, because NXT, they claim, obviously it's the lesser brand, right?
Of
course.
course.
It was their developmental.
In all reality, yeah.
They are trying to turn that into it being an equal show.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's saying it's developmental, really. I mean,
it's not anymore.
Yeah, Adam Cole is a better wrestler than a ton of people on that SmackDown roster. Baszler could beat up just about anybody on the SmackDown roster. So it's not. It isn't really the lesser show.
Yeah.
It does have some of the weaker talents, the developing talents. Some people that might never make it, Damian Priest, and but it is good to see them do that. None of that 50-50 booking bullshit.
Yeah.
Get NXT in there, get them strong, so that people are interested, and think that maybe they will have a chance in some of these matches at Survivor Series.
Yeah, and the one thing that I enjoyed too was the crowd knew who they were.
Yes.
That was very refreshing. Like the whole Adam Cole Bebe little shtick at the end, and like they knew who they were, and I'm like, all right, we got something here,
for sure.
Which leads us into something that we don't talk about again.
Okay.
Monday Night Raw.
Did not watch. This is all on you.
Yeah. So very slightly, I just remembered like literally just now. They did announce a bunch of matches for Survivor Series involving NXT people.
Yes.
So it's like every tag team champion against each other. But the thing that they were leading into, they had a little sit down with Becky Lynch talking about Shayna Baszler, and then Baszler came into the room. It was like a little thing, and Ronda, listen to me. Becky was basically saying like, "Oh, you're just Ronda Rousey's little buddy," and Shayna's like, "I assure you one thing, I am nothing like Ronda Rousey."
Yeah.
Basically saying, nice,
talented.
basically saying, like, "Oh, nice to meet you, champ."
Yeah.
I'll see,
Sure.
So they announced it's going to be Becky versus Bayley versus Shayna
Yeah.
at Survivor Series.
NXT's doing a really interesting thing because Survivor Series is, I don't know how long away is it? 2 weeks?
Yeah, and it's the night after TakeOver.
Yeah, and NXT's also building TakeOver War Games.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's very interesting, and a lot of these people are going to be pulling double duty, big matches 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but I am excited for it.
Yeah. So what else happened on Raw?
So on Raw, everyone's favorite internet pariah, Seth Rollins, came out talking about how he's bummed out about his life. And
yeah, I'm bummed out about his life too. Just that he has one.
So Trips came out, basically said, sometimes to move forward, you got to look back. Obviously, former NXT champ. I think he was the first ever NXT champ.
Was he?
Yeah, I think so.
That wasn't like Michael Tarver?
No, but he did beat Jinder Mahal for the belt.
Ooh.
Little fun fact
It's
for
true.
you, my friend.
There you go. Hardbody Mahal.
Yeah. Undisputed Era jumped up on the apron, kind of looking at them. The Good Brothers came out to confront Undisputed Era.
Okay.
They ended up in a big brawl. Dijak came out. Dunn came out. I forget who else, and they just beat the hell out of the Good Brothers. There was a little thing backstage where Rollins said, all right, if I'm going to join NXT, I want to be the champ. So that leads into Adam Cole versus Rollins in the main event for the NXT belt.
Okay.
Went to a non-finish because Undisputed Era jumped in and started beating down Rollins.
Sure.
Big brawl at the end between Raw and NXT.
That's a theme.
Yeah, it seems to be a running theme this week. Ricochet hit a big dive, looked cool. Then Keith Lee hit a big dive, and the crowd went nuts.
All right.
Raw ended with everybody laid out. Again, good build.
Yeah.
This is what we're building towards. Then we're going to get right into NXT from last night.
Yeah, let's go. What we normally talk about.
Yeah, show comes on the air, and we have the Good Brothers beating up Undisputed Era in the parking lot.
Follow up from Raw.
Which, hey, you want to continue storylines on that?
What was it that Bobby Fish spit all over that trailer?
It had to be ketchup.
Was it supposed to be blood?
I think it was supposed to be, but it was ketchup.
I wasn't sure if it was. Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't blood. I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be blood or if it was supposed to be like he just had he had like a dip in or something. 'Cause, I mean, it didn't look anything like blood. No. So I just wasn't sure. It's a weird touch.
Somebody put online, they're like, "What the hell happened? Like, why did his face explode like that?"
Yeah, real weird.
Yeah, they come out to the ring, basically say, "Hey, we're in your house."
Good Brothers with AJ Styles.
Well, yeah, I throw AJ.
The original club.
Again. Yeah, the only club that matters,
Sure.
right? Ciampa comes out to, basically, I don't know, whatever. Gets joined by Riddle and Lee.
Yep.
And we have our main event set for the evening.
Yeah.
I was ready for it.
See, and so last week Ciampa said, talking to the belt like a normal person, he said, Goldie, you're gonna have to wait. Daddy's got to go to war first, and I thought he was talking about War Games.
Well, I think,
but he's also, at least also, if not only, talking about the fact that they're going to war with the other two brands.
Yeah, I like that. I can see how that came from that.
Yeah.
Which leads to our first match.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne, Damian Priest.
Yep.
Dunne got the win.
He did.
They both get beat up by Killian Dane afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I hope this is over now. This seemed to be a build. It seemed to be, Dunne Priest. There was video packages. They were, doing all that stuff to build it. I hope it's over. It certainly looks like it's over. I don't know why they gave this match 2 commercial breaks.
Yeah, me neither.
they just, I mean, the guys don't have chemistry, and maybe it was supposed to go a little longer with Dane in the background, causing some problems. But
I don't think it's over because now Priest and Dane have issues, and they all have issues with each other.
So they're gonna make it a 3-way with these guys. I just want Dunne Dane. Or Dane Dunne, whichever.
Yeah, but now
it's fun to say.
Now there's Priest in it too.
Yeah, no, so. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm glad Dunne got the win. They don't have chemistry.
Yeah, and they did like the whole ending from the previous match.
Yeah.
The low blow.
Priest has some of the worst strikes I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're not good.
They're really bad, and I've mentioned on the show before. We talk about it. A good working punch is a lost art, unless you're Dustin Rhodes. There's a couple other people, but Dustin's got the best one because of an era when it really mattered.
Of course.
But man, Priest, those kicks, some of those, everything, they were real bad. They're real light. They're no effort behind them.
Just the leg slaps, man.
Yeah, it's terrible. I don't like that dude at all. And part of me always feels bad. We do this show, and I'm just going to rag on a dude or a person or a match or whatever. And I don't want to be negative about anybody, but man, Dunne's the Dana Brooke of his generation.
There's a difference between being negative and letting your feelings known about something.
True. Yeah.
So I mean, hey, if it's got to be negative, whatever. We're gonna roll with that.
Yeah.
They announced that I guess Ripley officially put Tegan Nox and Candice on her War Games, which is weird because I thought she put Dakota in last week too, but guess not.
Yeah, his Team Kick was involved.
Yeah, and then Baszler picked Bianca and Io. So final spots are open, which they tell us tonight Dakota is going to go against Shayna.
Yes.
Trying to earn her spot basically for Rhea.
I'm going to say just NXT 30 minutes in, and we only had that Dunne versus Priest match.
That was a long match.
That's crazy.
But it was a long match.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been. You could have fit a hell of a lot more in.
I agree. There's certain matches on the show that I feel could have gotten that time.
Yes.
Next match not being one of them.
No.
Taynara, Santana Garrett.
Yeah.
The less said, the better.
I mean, just, going through the motions of what a wrestling match is supposed to look like, but at half speed.
There's that one.
And I like Taynara. I was impressed by Taynara in the past.
Yeah.
I think, again, it's another match that got a ton of time. They got gassed out. They lost their way.
You could tell they're not comfortable with being on TV, especially Santana, because there was that one where it was like slow motion walking spot, and it's just getting ripped to shreds.
And like Santana did,
rightfully so.
She went to do a handspring at one point, and like her elbows like bent down. She was gassed. Yeah. But she did get murdered with that kick at the end.
She did.
It
was no saving it for me.
Yeah, and that's where NXT hits the weak point where they can look like the lesser brand. Yeah. Because these people, you need to expose them to. They need TV time. They need match time. They need to find how to work matches and stuff. And that's what NXT is for. When it was on the network, it wasn't that big of a deal if this kind of stuff happened. Now that the whole world can see it, it's not your best show.
Well, they used to be able to do reshoots and also could do awkward camera cuts, like a certain match we'll mention later tonight. Next match, Shayna and Dakota. This was great, I thought.
It was good.
Yeah. Shayna got the win. I thought Dakota looked awesome.
She
like
did.
As
she
that
looked,
baby.
She really good.
Both of Shayna's offense just looks brutal.
Yeah. Kai, though, good strikes, good kicks. Like the opposite of what I was just saying about Priest. Her kicks looked real. They looked good. She had a passion and a fire that I hadn't really seen her previously. I was fine with her, but I didn't really, I didn't get it.
She had that Ricky Morton-esque comeback.
Ooh, well.
I said that. I'll own that. You can disagree with me. It's fine.
No, it's fine. You can throw around whatever sort of weight and comparisons that are way too bigger for what they are. Everybody else is this week.
I mean, well, boy, a lot of foreshadowing right now between you and I.
Yep.
After the match, again, huge brawl breaks out.
Yeah.
4 horsewomen come down. Team Ripley shows up. Ian, Bianca jump Ripley. And then unexpectedly, Mia Yim comes out.
With a Singapore cane?
Yes, it just beats up
everybody.
Everybody. No one was safe. If somebody got in her way, she was swinging at.
Yep.
I thought that, because, with all this build that's been going up with the women's division and how great it's been, I feel like she kind of has fallen into that afterthought category a little bit. Yeah. This, to me, I'm like, now I remember how good she is.
She's good. She's got a great look.
Yeah.
She's tough. She's different. She stands out from the crowd. My favorite thing about this whole brawl afterwards, do you know what it is? Can you take a guess?
Her wearing a Wu-Tang Clan shirt?
No, I mean that's awesome. But no. It was a huge brawl with half the roster of women, pretty much.
Yes.
None of which were booked on the show except for the 2 people that were just in the match.
So none of them were wearing their gear.
They were all in street clothes.
See, there you go.
Every single one of them that ran down the ring to brawl weren't booked on the show, so they ran down in jeans and T-shirts or whatever.
Yeah.
Except for Baszler's cronies, but they were second year to the ring. They always wear the T-shirt with their gear.
Yeah.
But they were all in street clothes.
Yeah.
And
it just makes it feel more legit.
It's if you're not booked, why you have your gear? You don't need to be in it.
Yeah.
And that's something that the Young Bucks don't understand, which we'll talk about again later. But they don't get that.
No.
Unless those dudes walk around in fringe 24/7.
They might.
I mean, it's possible. But man, it's such a stupid pet peeve with me. I understand it. I understand that most people don't even notice or care. But it's my wrestling pet peeve.
Sure.
And it doesn't I'm not necessarily like, oh, this brawl's bullshit because they're in their wrestling gear. But when they take the time and the thought to not wear their gear, I'm like, oh. They cared about this a little bit more than your average person.
Yeah, and I get that.
And again, how did Macho Man know to bring 3 different sets of gear?
That's the age-old question.
Next
match, NXT #1 contender match for the Cruiserweight belt.
Yeah.
Tony Nese, which he's just a 205 Live mainstay, going up against Angel Garza.
They're kind of throwing those guys back and forth, right? Because I see Swerve is on 205 Live a lot.
Yeah, I think they are. And now 205 Live filmed before NXT went on the air.
Oh.
So now I think they're just going to start showing 205 Live from the Performance Center, which I know it's not on the show, but for that brand, that's the right move, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because those crowds are dead after SmackDown, and they don't want to see these guys.
Yeah.
And it's sad because there's a lot of talent there.
Sure.
It's just not working.
Yeah.
Put it at the Performance Center. I think it's gonna excel now.
Live WWE shows, any live wrestling show, it's a task.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough. The seats are uncomfortable. There's a lot to take in. There's a lot of just stuff to look at, stuff to hear. Like it is a sort of an attack on your senses for a few hours. So doing that, ending hot on a regular show, and then bringing out Jack Gallagher, and he's fine. He's a good wrestler. He's entertaining.
It's just people don't know.
It's not going to work when you just saw Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have something at the end of whatever show they happen to be on.
It just doesn't work. But I do think it's going to help them being
and the style fits more of the NXT sort of show anyway.
Yeah.
The same people that love NXT also love cruiserweights and have a history with them. So it works.
Angel Garza beat Tony Nese. I thought at one point Garza got a little wobbly during the match. It looked like he was a little out on his feet, but they recovered. I thought it was another good match.
It was good. Long for a cruiserweight match. I think they could have been a little more fast-paced. Nese isn't a luchador. He's 205 Live, but he's jacked. So he's not like he doesn't necessarily wrestle like a typical cruiserweight.
Yeah.
But that kind of match, especially with someone like Angel Garza, who is that lineage, I can see a little bit of a faster pace out of it. But But it was good, and Garza getting the win. Garza Leo Rush is going to be good.
Oh, I can't wait for
those
that.
dudes are going to go crazy around each other.
And
so.
that's next week already. They're putting that on.
And Tony needs powerbombed a pair of pants.
I was going to ask what you felt about that.
I'm fine with it. Garza, they built it up. Garza every week does something with the pants. Does the either halfway through the match he takes them off or whatever. I mean, he's just stealing Naito's
Tai Chi.
Yeah. Well, Tai Chi, but Naito does it with the suit too. He has the tearaway pants in the suit.
That's the beginning of the match.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But it's fine. I like it. I was fine with it. It was funny. Whatever.
Yeah, Leo came out to offer the handshake afterwards, and Garza just paintbrushed him.
Yeah.
So I am excited for that.
Yeah.
The cut backstage, Rhea officially picked Mia Yim for her fourth member of the team, and poor Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
And, they kind of just said, yeah, sorry, you didn't make it.
She's definitely going to join the other team, right? Because the other team has one spot open.
I feel like that seems like that would happen.
Yeah.
But also, maybe she cost them the match.
It's a weird thing because they just established Team Kick in that great match with the Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah.
And then they're going to split them up on this. It's weird. You walk that line because maybe if they go against each other and then they're in the War Games and we're not going to hit each other because we're friends.
Yeah.
Or if she does cost them something, then it's well, we were friends and you cost me this match. It's a weird thing.
There's a lot of different ways that they can go with it.
She
even
can also beat somebody up and take their spot.
Yeah, even with Tegan, I can see Dakota being like, "Oh, you're supposed to be my best friend. Why didn't you vouch for me more?"
Exactly.
She just stood there basically.
Yeah.
So, gonna be interesting.
It'll be interesting. They're clearly building Dakota Kai up.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
I think she's great.
I think she looked really good in this match. I will say, and it's not a knock. Her first time I ever heard her really cut a promo, and that Australian accent is just so funny to me. And there's a ton of Australian people there now,
all throughout the company,
everywhere, which is awesome. But seeing Dakota Kai and then hearing that, I was like, "Ooh, that's
a little unexpected."
It's just what it was. It was unexpected. It's not. I'm not saying it's bad. Of course, it's not bad. But I was just like, "Ooh, okay, you don't expect that." It's kind of like when you go to drink or you think it's water and you go to drink a Sprite and it's I like Sprite, but I was expecting it to be a water.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just it's a little bit weird.
What an analogy
it's a weird
that
thing.
was. Next match.
But they're building her good, so there's something's going to happen.
Yeah.
She's not just going to walk away and be fine with it.
Still, even after this week, I think it's the most interesting division between the shows right now.
I think so too.
It really is. I'm hooked into it.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for it.
Yeah.
Next match, we had Dijak going up against Isaiah Swerve Scott. What a hell of a sprint this was.
Yeah.
This was a ton of fun.
Swerve's way over.
He is.
Way. He was when they signed him. He was a huge name.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I Dijak beat him. It was less than 10 minutes, but they had the definition of get your shit in.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch Swerve wrestle a fun opponent.
See, I liked it though because it had that big guy versus little guy
it wasn't bad.
dichotomy.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I just Swerve can have better matches with people not as big. I want to see him, and he's been wrestling on 205 Live.
Look at that match you had with Roddy a couple weeks ago. They tore it down.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was a good match. It just
I think that and it's going to be interesting around Mania time if they are still going to do call-ups or even send-downs or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that guy might be your next cornerstone of NXT.
Yeah.
If they book him the right way, I really do. He's got it all. He's over. He can work. I like him a lot.
Yeah. Him and Boa. They're going to be the cornerstones.
God damn it.
It's 2 weeks now without a Boa sighting.
He's recovering.
It's true. It's because I don't need anybody squashed this week. Poor Boa.
They did announce for next week Io versus Mia Yim in a ladder match for the advantage in War Games.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
Gonna be and seeing that's another thing. What if Dakota Costin says, "Oh, I'm the fourth member of their team now."
So what's the what are the teams? What are the who's what?
So Ripley is Ripley, Candice, Tegan Knox, Mia Yim.
Okay.
Shayna is Shayna, Io Shirai, Belair, and they haven't named a fourth member yet.
Okay. Yeah, I like that team way better.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter who the fourth person is.
Right? They're just all badasses.
Yeah. 'Cause I like Rhea. I think maybe the best chances for for Dakota Kai to jump. What's her name? Mrs. Wrestling.
Candace.
I think she's the weak link in that team. She's good. And again, I'm saying that means like, it doesn't mean she's bad. There's a ton of talent. It's just she's not as cutthroat as the other ones necessarily, but she is feuding with EO and all that.
Yeah. And again, they're all intertwined and have beef with each other now.
Baszler, EO, and Bianca. Those are like my top three. Like Bianca's my favorite of the whole women's division on NXT. I think she's great. I think she does a ton of things incredibly well. No matter who that fourth person is, that's the team that I'm behind. Even though I'm probably not supposed to be because they're the bad guys. They're the mean ones.
I just can't wait though to see like who's the fourth woman. Like it's gonna be so cool. Mm-hmm. Main event time: OC versus Riddle, Ciampa, and Lee.
Yep.
Again, this was bonkers. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I feel like and I think you may be on this too. The Keith Lee we've been seeing the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
That's where I'm like, okay, I see it now.
I get it.
Yep.
Last 2 weeks, I get it. Him versus Dijakovic, I did not get him the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
On because he was on every wrestling show this
him
week.
And Riddle, they were on every show.
Super into Keith Lee, really doing great stuff. I imagine for this match backstage, when they were talking with whoever was the agent for this match or agents, they were just like, what do you think we should do? And they just looked at Matt Riddle and they were like, just do every move you know.
Yeah.
Every one. Just hit all of them.
Including do your best Shawn Michaels 98 Rumble impression too.
Right?
Because when he hit his back off the apron, I went, oh, man.
Yeah. Just hit every single move you know, Matt Riddle. Maybe even some you don't know. He did everything. It was insane.
Yeah. I think it was cool seeing like AJ and the Good Brothers in that NXT ring, though. I thought that was
it was really great.
Good. It was good for that crowd.
I love the Good Brothers. I love AJ.
Yeah.
It's really nice of AJ to sort of hunch down.
True.
To make him not look so tall compared to the NXT guys.
Yeah,
he sort of his height. I mean, he's a very tall guy, is what I'm saying. AJ Styles.
Yes, very
tall.
How tall exactly?
I mean, I would. I would say close to 7 foot.
Easily.
Towers
over guys.
Towers. So it's nice that he kind of, hunches down a little bit.
Yeah.
So he
brought himself down to that level.
Yeah, it's just really, really nice of him.
Agreed.
Yeah. I can hear him screaming at us right now. That's an inside joke for somebody else. I'll get the text about it later. But anyway, I love seeing those guys. AJ Styles obviously is great.
Yeah.
The Good Brothers are a lot of fun. I like the dynamic. When I saw them, I was like, oh, who's gonna match up, right? And clearly, Keith Lee matches with Gallows because they're the big hosses, right? Yeah. And then Ciampa, I was like, he's sort of the leader, but is he really going to team up, kind of square off against AJ? I think Ciampa's more of a machine gun Carl Anderson kind of guy.
I'm with you on that, yeah.
So those were the two I was
bald
excited.
And have beards.
Yeah, and
of course they match up.
Well, they're similar.
Their style,
Carl Anderson is a guy who does not get credit for how good he is as a singles wrestler.
He's super underrated.
So that was really cool. And then Riddle AJ Styles is, that's an insane thing.
Yeah.
And when he kicked AJ in the face when he was going for that Styles clash, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but there was no definitive winner in the match.
There was not. Riddle with that dive.
Yeah, that was gross.
But anyway.
Yeah, no definitive winner because we had Mr. Finn Balor.
Yep.
Come out to interrupt again. Mm-hmm. Gave Ciampa the Bloody Sunday on the entrance ramp. Made it super safe, too.
Sure.
Because of Ciampa's neck. Yep. I was like, all right, good on you.
You got to protect the boys.
Of course.
Yeah.
Him and AJ had that little, they just stared at each other. AJ threw up the too sweet. Balor with the finger guns. I'm going, this is interesting. Mm-hmm. But then it was Cole that came out and laid out AJ with the super kick.
Yep.
And him and Balor looked at each other. Balor shot him the look, and you saw Cole's mouth to him. He goes, I know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And just like shaking his head. And I'm like, oh, man, I need to see more. Yep. I'm so intrigued with where this is going.
Yeah. It's a fun tease. Are they gonna do like a WWE version of the Bullet Club? Are they going to do, I mean, a further version of the Bullet Club, I guess? Is Finn are they going to tease him joining Undisputed Era? Is it just a complete coincidence and nothing's going to come up?
And nothing happens?
You don't really know.
Is Finn playing everybody?
But that's good. That's good TV.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I did see Gargano got pulled off of Evolve for health. Something they said.
I think it's probably storyline.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, because of Finn with the whole beating him down.
Yeah, I was worried that maybe he was actually injured.
No, I think that's probably just...
I don't read the dirt sheets or anything, so I don't know.
I don't think him and Finn are going to have a match at TakeOver.
No, you think it was just...
I think they're going to hold that off. I think Gargano's going to be off TV a little bit.
Okay.
Because Finn hasn't had a match yet.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
I don't even think... Or no, he was on TV last week where he cut that promo, which divided everybody, I think.
Yeah.
But, I think it's going to be... It's going to be cool to see where this all goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Does that wrap it up on NXT World this week?
It does, but what was your match of the show here?
If I could, I wish I could count Cole Bryan from SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean that
because I think that was the best one.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a good question. I think I'm just looking at the match card here again. Probably. There were 3 matches I think were all pretty even.
Okay.
I thought Shayna Dakota was awesome. Mm-hmm. I thought for the time it went, Dijak Swerve was great, and I thought the main event was great.
Okay.
Let me marinate on it.
Okay.
What was yours?
I'm going with the main.
Okay.
So the whole show, it was a good show. We'll talk later about who I think had the better one.
Yeah.
But it was a good show. Not great.
No.
The other matches were good.
Yeah.
The stuff you're wanting to see is the crossover stuff, right? The who are they going to face from the main roster, that kind of stuff. That's sort of the draw right now. So that main event did it for me. Riddle doing everything he could possibly ever do. With Keith Lee being as good as he's been, that's what really did it for me. But again, it was hard for me to choose because most of the show didn't have that big show feeling, and it doesn't. I mean, there's nothing. It's not like they have a pay-per-view on Saturday like another show.
Wow.
But 2 weeks they are building the 2 different shows. So
and I think they're still getting there.
Yeah.
They're still putting all the pieces together. Mm-hmm. I mean, next week's going to be the go home for it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
a big show.
Yeah, that'll be
go
big.
home's got to be big.
Honestly, I'm probably going to default just to Shayna Dakota.
Okay.
Just because I'm so invested in that division right now, and I love the story.
Yeah.
And I think it's a treat whenever you get to see a Shayna match on TV.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
And it reminds you how good she is.
She's very good.
I love a wrestler style like that, a lot of limb manipulation and stuff. I love that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is
I agree. It was a really good match.
I think that was my favorite one of the night.
What else have they said? Do we want to talk anything about what's coming up for Survivor Series or War Games beyond that? Or
you know what? I think we could save it for next week because we're gonna do a little preview next week. I think we'll preview the takeover and the matches that are involved.
This was more focused on Survivor Series than War Games.
Yeah, so I think we could save that for next week and kind of once all the ships are in order, we'll dissect them. You want to talk about the other company now?
What other company?
AEW.
Oh, AEW. Yeah, let's talk about them.
Do you want to talk about what was AEW Dark?
I don't. Do I want to? No. Is it our duty? Yes, because this is what we signed up to do, and we've covered it every time. Yes. AEW Dark was pretty bad this week.
It was really bad.
So I think maybe what they did, sort of the first couple, made them real good to get people watching. Because it did not do it. Shivani got a co-host in the event center, which makes me think they're going to transition Shivani out.
Which I really hope not.
It
wasn't good. It was the worst. It wasn't the worst one, by a long. Yeah,
I've enjoyed these for the most part. They've only ever had 1, maybe 2 good matches on per episode. Really, just the main of a dark, but. These are dark matches. They're starting to become dark matches. They're dark matches for a reason. I'll still watch it because it's only an hour, and I can fast forward a lot because there's a lot of hype and a lot of lead up.
I do the same thing. I fast forward through all the hype stuff.
This little sidebar. The first thing that since we've been doing this podcast, I've been watching everything. I don't fast forward through stuff, just commercial breaks, all that kind of stuff.
Same.
I fast forwarded through most of NWA Power this week.
I haven't watched the last 2 weeks.
Don't bother.
Yeah.
I just don't. Eddie Kingston, if you want to see that stuff, he's great. He's the shining spot. Trevor Murdoch also, but this isn't an NWA podcast. That was the first thing out of this whole thing. Like, I've been watching all of that, and I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
AEW Dark was very close.
Okay.
But matches, I'll run down the matches.
Yeah,
here.
let's.
Match 1, you had Sean Spears versus Michael Nakazawa. We haven't seen Nakazawa in a long time.
Which, thankful for that.
AEW was kind of like, oh shit, we have Ty Dillinger. We got to do something with him, right? We a ton of build up in the beginning, and then that was about it. So
yeah, and I think I saw somebody on Twitter, might have been Trevor Dame again.
Okay.
Make the comment of, there's some guys within that are you feel might be held down in WWE that you want to see go to AEW and shine, and then there's
Luke Harper.
Then there's certain guys where you're like, nah, I get now why they were held down because they're just not. They don't do it for me.
He just doesn't have it.
The most interesting thing about him is Tully.
It's Tully, 100%. Tully's still good at what he does. Spears is using the slingshot brainbuster, which is great. I'm glad somebody's using it. I always thought it was a good move. Nakazawa did the baby oil thing. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
Spears is bland. When he was in WWE, I didn't like him because I thought he had a real goofy haircut, and I felt that was what was holding him back.
Yes, you did.
It turns out it's just him that's holding him back. Not good.
Yeah.
Moving on.
The highlight of the whole show, personally for me, was MJF on commentary.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Next
Although
match.
he did put a clip of himself picking on Orange Cassidy on the airplane today.
Oh, did he? That son of a bitch.
OC's sitting in front of him, and he's just punching the back of his seat. And it says, on the way to Full Gear, and he's punching the back of OC's chair.
Dick.
Yeah. You don't do that, pal.
You're on my shit list now.
Right?
Speaking of things being on my shit list.
Match number 2.
Yeah.
Mercedes Martinez and Big Swole. And I was aware of Big Swole because of the social medias. Okay. So I was like, oh, Big Swole, this could be good. Versus Sadie Gibbs and Allie. And then the third match.
The only thing I'm going to say about this.
Yeah.
We mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
For me, just because you can air this match doesn't mean you should.
It's so bad.
The awkward-ass camera cuts to people in the crowd. Uh-huh. I was like, what in the hell are you showing this for?
When somebody screws something up, they cut to the crowd.
To, just somebody awkwardly cheering.
Yeah.
Just... So it was terrible.
It's just nobody in this match I'm that into. Big Swole, I hadn't seen wrestle, but had known who she was, and I don't get it. And then it's a dark match. It's what it should be.
It was terrible.
And then we get a Britt Baker promo.
Yeah, I guess so.
It really just her complaining and shooting and working into a shoot and breaking kayfabe.
It was kind of funny because they're like, oh, B never called to check on me.
Yeah.
I was like, what, is this Austin Owen Hart? It's not that serious.
Yeah.
All right, you're not at that level.
But, so she said, the breaking kayfabe about a concussion, saying that she got hit, and that stuff happens. I get it. But, I have a ton of problem with this, and it shouldn't even really take up this much time, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. You can run hey, you hurt me for real. You've injured me. Yeah. People run injury gimmicks all the time. So, but this wasn't like you hurt me, you injured me, you blindside kicked me, and I'm going to get revenge. This was, you're a bad wrestler, you're a sloppy wrestler, you don't know how to wrestle, and you hurt me.
Well, if you saw a little clip circulating of B from Stardom this week, did you see that GIF?
No.
Oh, I'll send it.
Yeah? So you're saying those things are true?
Well, B, and you know what? The more, and I kind of looked into it, B does have this reputation of hurting people.
Sure.
I guess she had some shit happen with Sadie Gibbs during the Battle Royal for one of the shows. Okay. I guess she wouldn't sell for Sadie. And I guess there was some beef, but she came out afterwards and said, no, it's fine. But, there's a clip of her and Mayu Iwatani from over in Stardom this week. I'll show it to you, and you're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
So even if that's fine, that's what she does. She's sloppy. There's been 1.5 million professional wrestlers that do that. From her to Vader to whoever.
Don't you fucking disparage him like that.
I love Vader, but he used to really potato people.
Well, yeah, that was Vader.
Yeah.
You know what you were getting into.
He knocked Ken Shamrock out.
He told him to lighten up, but he wouldn't.
Anyway.
What do you expect?
Anyway.
And now Shamrock is doing dick flip shit.
That's true.
That's what you get.
Because of the CTE.
Exactly.
It's the only reason you do the dick flip.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but like, and then just saying, B, you're not a pro. Like, I think you could do this promo in a professional wrestling way and get it over, and as opposed to just sitting there and being like, you're a bad wrestler and I'm a better wrestler than you, and like, instead of saying, you could do the, I'm a better wrestler, like, say, I'm a better wrestler, I'm a better athlete, I'm this and that, but this was very much like just complaining about her like kayfabe abilities. It just rubbed me the complete wrong way. Maybe it's because of AEW's like, we don't script our wrestlers kind of thing. We let her do whatever she wants. My dislike of Britt, because I don't think she's very good either.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think maybe if Priestley's thing is that she's a little too much of a mess, and Britt is the way she is, maybe they both need to meet in the middle and become better wrestlers that way.
Agreed.
And then like just the most pain you can have with the mandibular thing, with the this and with my hand and the mouth explode. I was just like, no, just stop. And then after that, we get the segment Cody Rhodes subtly buries the WWE, called Undesirable to Undeniable. This week, his guest was Jimmy Havoc. They did not bury the WWE this week.
No, because I don't think Jimmy Havoc was ever on the radar.
Because Jimmy Havoc doesn't have any beef.
Yeah.
Good for Jimmy. Another guy where I was like, "Ooh, I knew you were British, but that accent."
Yeah,
all right.
Michael
Caine with a staple gun.
It makes him like sound. I don't know. It makes him look funny to me. I don't know why. It's just I love British accent, but like when he talks so polite, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing, dude? You're supposed to be rough.
Same thing with Barney from Napalm Death. It's weird. It just doesn't come out you just don't expect.
I love you for that.
You don't expect that voice. But anyway, so that happened. It was fine. Good for Jimmy Havoc. We've discussed in the past. I think there's a place in wrestling for Jimmy Havoc.
Oh, absolutely.
I like Jimmy Havoc. I just don't think AEW is that place. He can't be himself. He has to change him. Like, as much as they want to talk about it, he has to pull himself back and kind of change what he does a little bit.
The deathmatch shit is how he got noticed. Yeah. Like, he may be a passable wrestler, but like...
Yeah.
Lean into it, man.
But this, I don't have a problem with this segment. It is. I get it. You're trying to get some talent over and make you relate to these people that you may not have ever seen before.
Yeah.
And then we get the main event of AEW Dark. Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt, the Jurassic Express minus the Jurassic, versus Janela and Havoc.
I will just...
It was a thing.
I'll immediately get to it.
Yeah.
I hope Marco's not hurt.
Yeah. I mean, the spot at the end, it was really gross.
That was scary.
It was really, to talk about Britt Baker's promo, but it was sloppy and scary. Marco's a little guy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they just tossed him around like a rag doll. And it was a really bad bump. And I know Janela on Twitter said, like, oh, the reason why, because AEW Dark ran late. It was about an hour off this week before to put it up. It was supposed to come up at 7.
You were saying.
It was supposed to come up at 7 and went up at 8. And Janela tweeted, like, oh, they delayed it so that nobody can see me hurt Marco Stunt this week. And I was like, okay, well, that makes me think that he's probably okay because you're going to be better off. You'd be a better guy than to air that
well, and
on
you know
Twitter.
what? Like, Marco's one of Joey's guys.
Yes.
You know?
The thing that bothered me about this match... And again, I'm giving this whole AEW Dark way more than I thought I would because
I'm
it bothered
surprised.
Me. But here's the thing that bothered me about this match, and I'm going to treat it like I treat any other wrestling show. When we saw Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy wrestle the Lucha Brothers, everybody complained about Marco Stunt being too small and this and that. And when they got in that ring with the Lucha Brothers, they sold for him. They based for him. They let him get offense. They tried to elevate him as much as they could to get a good match because it was a raw deal. It was, Luchasaurus just got hurt. Marco wasn't supposed to be in the match. The Lucha Brothers came out and did what you do as a pro. Elevate your opponent. Make sure everybody gets over, right?
Yeah.
The first thing Janela does when he comes out in this match is refuse to sell for Stunt and make it a comedy spot in the match. Well, you buried him. He had, and you're just giving in to the people that said he shouldn't be there. And I know Janela's not like that. That's Janela's the guy, reason why we know who Marco Stunt is.
Yeah.
And the first thing he does is laugh at him for being little and not sell like the whatever arm, whatever he was trying to do. And I'm just like, why would you do that? Like, literally, Pentagon, one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, sold for this dude because you wanted to have a good match and make the dude look good. And the first thing you do is just bury him so everybody can be like, oh, you see how little he is. It's just so weird to me. Like, elevate your opponent.
I agree.
I don't understand why you don't do that, especially in the situation that they are, where they're gonna keep using these guys. Luchasaurus is gonna be on the shelf for a few more weeks at least, if not months. And just, I don't know. It bothers me. Maybe it wouldn't have if the Lucha Brothers didn't have such a good match with these guys and make sure that these guys looked good. But for Janela to just come out and laugh at him and refuse to sell in the beginning, it didn't work. And it really bothered me because of how, like, people, I mean, I ranted about it for like 20 minutes when the Marco Stunt thing happened. Like, it just, the dude has to work really hard to get taken seriously. He took the t-shirt off this week. He wore the dragon mask and like because Pentagon called him Baby Saurus, like, so he put the dragon mask on to go down to the ring. Like, the dude has to work extra hard because everybody's already like, look how little you are, dummy.
Yeah.
And then we're getting Rey Mysterio, Brock Lesnar, but
which that's been awesome, but that's a whole other note.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And I mean, Rey is also huge. Rey's not the Rey,
one of the best
that we know. Rey's not the Rey we remember. Yeah. I remember little purple suited skinny Rey,
of course. But he's still one of the best.
He's still one of the best. But like, I help everybody out. Don't let anybody laugh at anybody unless everybody's in on the joke. And that didn't seem like everybody was in on the joke.
Yeah.
And I know that Janela didn't mean it that way, and I know he's better. But that feeds those trolls.
It does. I'm with you. Well, afterwards, and here's just hoping Marco's all right, for real.
Yes, for real.
Yeah,
I like
hope
Marco.
he's okay.
I think he's tough as hell.
Yeah.
And he's entertaining for what he does.
Yeah.
And I hope he's okay.
Yeah. Afterwards, backstage, totally confronted Joey smoking.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I guess they had a little spat where something with a cigarette or something.
Yeah, Joey put a cigarette in his coffee. Like, walked by, had a cigarette, and put it out in his coffee.
I didn't see that.
I don't remember what it was from, but I saw it.
Yeah, but
I think it was probably from a dark.
Probably. But Spears grabbed Joey, and did he like pry his mouth open and put the cigarette out on his tongue?
He did. So he had pair of pliers and he pulled.
I thought it was like pulling his teeth out.
Yeah, me too at first. But yeah, he pulled the tongue out with the pair of pliers and they put the cigarette out on his tongue.
Yeah, I thought that was like a nice little ending. Yes. I was like, oh, that okay.
Well, I mean, it's fun to see Tully like becoming the guy that tied Dusty Rhodes to a truck and broke his arm.
Yes.
Like, you don't cry like that, and like you said before, the only interesting thing about Sean Spears is Tully Blanchard.
Yeah.
So to see Tully be this kind of dude that goes out of his way to cause misery to someone, I mean, Tully's one of the best.
He's still got it.
He's one of the best of all time. So him and Arn were great together. The Horsemen are great. So that's not a secret. No shit. But it's good to see him be that ruthless guy again, and he's doing some fun stuff.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Yes.
First match kicked right off with a match.
It did.
We had the Bastard Pack.
Yeah.
Going up against Trent.
Yes. Who's just Trent now.
Yeah, just Trent.
Just Trent.
Yeah, I don't think you could use Trent Beretta.
No?
No, I think it's the E owns that.
Really?
Yeah, did you know he was in the E?
Yeah, I did, but
okay. I think that
he didn't go by Trent Beretta in New Japan.
No, he was just Trent.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He was like Trent with a question mark, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. The more you know, my friend.
All right, well, good. Yeah, I mean, I like him, so that's good. But yeah, whenever I'm always like, oh, Trent Beretta, huh?
Yeah. He came out backed by Mr. Chucky T and, of course, the Big OC.
The Big OC. Everybody's favorite.
Came out to that Road Warrior pop again.
Every time.
I love him.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun, I thought.
It was.
Pac got the win over Trent.
Yeah, they're building. So they have the pay-per-view on Saturday. So a lot of the stuff is going to build to that, and we'll talk to it as it talk of it when it happens.
There was some cool stuff in the match with Pac and Orange Cassidy, though.
Yes.
Where he went on the outside and tried to intimidate him, and just OC just looked at him and I'm like, oh, you're the best. Yeah. And then he proceeded to kick his fucking head off in the match.
So this was the match I was the most excited for going into AEW. I didn't
know it was announced.
It was. I didn't think it. I think maybe they announced it on Dark.
Okay.
The night before. I don't know. But I didn't expect it to be the first match. And obviously, Pac's getting the win here, right?
You knew it.
But Trent's a really good wrestler.
Always has been.
So I was excited to watch this, and they didn't disappoint. It was a good match. Clearly, Trent can't put Pac through too much of the paces because he's got a big match coming up on the pay-per-view. This is the go-home show. But it was a cool matchup. We still got to see some best friends action.
There was that awkward ending, though.
Yeah.
Where he hit the black arrow and
yeah,
Bryce didn't count it all the way.
Yeah.
I just think it was miscommunication. Because then he put him in that, whatever the move's called, the brutalizer.
The brutalizer, yeah.
And he finished it.
I wasn't sure. Like, I couldn't tell, like, he didn't kick out or Pac was lifting him up.
Just
or
miscommunication.
It was just a weird thing.
It happens.
Yeah, it does. No big deal.
Yeah.
But if you can tease Pac versus Orange Cassidy, you have to give it to me.
Yeah.
I want it.
Are we going to fly to wherever it happens?
I mean, sure. If we'll find somebody.
Tony Khan, he'll fly us out.
Welcome to the Wednesday Night War Patreon, everybody. Maybe a GoFundMe. I don't know. What can we do to get a plane ticket to wherever that happens?
We're not there yet.
But yeah, I hope that happens. I think that'd be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
One day they're going to have OC really like wrestle a match and show what he can do.
Yeah.
And,
because I hate his critics just because I love the guy so much.
Yeah.
But I hate his critics who are like, oh, he just does the dumb shit. And you don't take the time to actually watch a match.
Yeah.
Go watch a match with him and David Starr from Beyond, and you're going to love it.
Amazing match.
Yeah. Him versus like Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
It's just been amazing stuff.
He does the comedy stuff. The dude can wrestle for real.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Very, very talented guy. And I mean, you know, the comedy stuff is super over. So
obviously,
if you're a critic out there and you're like, oh, he's ruining wrestling or he's no good or this or that, I mean, the fans clearly don't agree with you.
Yeah,
he's one of, if not the loudest pop
every week.
Time.
It's every week. It comes out, the crowd goes nuts for him.
Yeah,
and it just makes me so happy.
Yeah, and it's really funny. They announced his meet and greet for StarCast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it just makes me laugh. I love that dude.
I hope he's just sitting at a table the whole time.
Yeah,
it doesn't acknowledge anyone.
Do crap. I love this dude.
He's the best.
He doesn't listen because I would imagine he doesn't listen to anything because he probably doesn't even know what a podcast is. But bottom of my heart, I love that dude.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Yes. Up next, we have Cody to come out and make his big announcement. They've been teasing for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
Shivani's in the ring. You know, Cody starts talking about how greatest promoters or greatest superstars at the top. They've also been the promoter. Yep. Compares like Bill Watts, Dusty, all that.
There's a name he didn't mention.
Who?
Who was booking and booked himself on top.
Oh, Kevin Nash.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, but that one I have no issue with.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have booked 2 hours of Kevin Nash. I'd be like, yep, you got me. Sold, buddy.
Here's my money.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just on your TV. I don't care. Just take my money.
Cody, please bring in Kevin Nash if you're listening.
Right.
Goes into the promo, basically says, if I lose Saturday, I will never challenge for the AEW title again.
You know, he understands people think it's unfair. He's the boss. He's in charge. He helped start the company. So, of course, he gets the first title shot, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So he's saying he'll never challenge again.
Yeah, goes into a very spirited promo.
He does.
Talks about Jericho calling him a millennial bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes the good point where he says, Jericho, your dad was a famous hockey player.
Well, and that's when he said he did that part, and he was like, when he makes fun of his book on Amazon, which $3 is for a used copy. But anyway,
that book's been out for a long time.
It's been out for a very long time. But and he said, you say I'm an entitled millennial. Dusty was my dad, this and that. And he's like, your father was a famous hockey player.
Yeah.
You're
like we shared the same silver spoon.
That was a good line.
You stupid dick.
Yeah, you stupid dick.
Which the crowd.
Yes.
Listen.
And he called him a carny succubus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, saying you need youth to make yourself relevant because this generation doesn't need you.
Yeah. Which is a good wrestling promo.
Yeah.
That could also be a little bit of a shoot and still make sense.
Yeah.
Pay attention, Britt Baker.
Yeah. I loved it.
Okay.
I thought it was great. I thought it was perfect it showed a lot of fire.
It did.
It showed that babyface
he choked
fire
up a little bit when he was talking about his family.
Yeah, and he said I went for his whole tagline, undesirable to undeniable. Was I've
goddamn deniable.
Yeah, but I cuss like a sailor.
Sure.
But it is kind of refreshing to hear that because it feels more real.
Yeah.
Grown men and grown women curse.
Sure.
Sorry, this is what it is.
I mean, I don't. But
well, you're full of shit.
That's not true.
but like to hear them, use that, it's like it adds like that little bit more like that edge to it, and I like it. I thought it was a great promo.
Yeah.
I'm not going to compare it to some other promos.
Okay.
And the floor is yours.
All right. So, listen, I liked it a lot. Probably the best promo, kind of what we've all been waiting for Cody to do, right? We're waiting for him to have that fire. He teared up talking about his family, just talking about it took him 14 years. And I would argue at that point, like, he was pretty well where he was in the E. He didn't like it, but he... if he didn't have and I commend him for leaving and starting his own thing. It's a great thing.
Good on him.
But if he stayed there as a yes man, he would have moved up in the company just fine.
He would have got, honestly, and not taking anything away from the dude. He would eventually got the Kofi Kingston treatment that Kofi got earlier this year.
Yeah.
He would have gotten it.
Definitely. But I love the fact that he was like, I don't like what they're doing with me. I think I could do better. Knowing that his dad was the trailblazer that he went off on his own. It's a great thing. It's a commendable thing.
And even Dusty told him, like, listen, leave if you're not happy,
And, Cody does sort of benefit from being a Rhodes.
Of course he does.
The door was open for him there.
He's
but I don't fault him for that at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because he got there and he deserves to be there.
Of course.
So, but this promo, I liked it a lot. And as soon as it happened, probably even before it was over, everybody was like, this is hard times. Everybody's hard times. This is Cody's hard times. This is, oh my God, it's Cody's hard times because they're going to compare him to his dad.
Of course.
And that's going to happen. But listen, let's not blaspheme in this house. All right? I'm not a religious man.
Really?
But I'm not. But what I have, the holy words, if you will.
If you will.
There's a few of them. And hard times is one of them.
Absolutely.
Right? If I'm feeling down, or I don't know what to watch when I want to watch some wrestling, or I want to watch some promos.
Or we try to convince your wife to how good Dusty Rhodes is.
Exactly. It's hard times, baby. There's other ones. Macho's cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Terry Funk's True Floridian in the shower, for me, is very special.
Dusty's, baby doll, you jet the bell. It's going to be shameful, mama.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. So, even Jericho, the 1001 moves from Jericho, Jericho calling the Cruiserweight Battle Royal, stuff like that aren't necessarily wrestling matches, but these just all time great promos. I watched Piper Jericho today because somebody posted on Twitter when Piper had come out and was beating up everybody, or Jericho was beating everybody, and Piper came out and like cut that promo. He's like, I'm going to shoot on you here. I would give it all up to come out and give, it's like, I hurt every day. I had a bad hip, but I would come up every time because it's about the fan react. Like, it's just a great promo.
Of course.
There
are those certain promos over time that I feel it stands out for everybody. If you're a wrestling fan, like your go-to promos, the Austin 316s of the world.
Yes.
You have those that they hold a certain spot with you.
But take a car ride with me and you or anybody, and hard times is going to happen.
All the time. Ask your wife.
So like, it's holy to me. Cody's promo was great.
It was great.
I liked it a lot. It's the best promo Cody's ever done.
And the one thing we didn't even touch on, where he says, like, hey, Inner Circle, like, when the Elite gets you,
beyond, baby,
we're going to eat you alive. And it's like, there's still that. And, like, that's cool.
Yes.
He put that in. But
he did say the Match Beyond, too.
He did. Yes, he did. Because I think he owns the name of the Match Beyond.
He owns Match Beyond, yes. So, but anyway, if you don't know what Match Beyond is, Google it. But back to my point, like, Hard Times is... It's special.
It's the gospel.
It's gospel. It's wrestling gospel. It's wrestling holy words. That's a thing that only happens sometimes. Like that promo is considered like the best of an era.
Yeah.
The best of a generation.
There's a reason why Dusty top promo class in NXT.
And I don't want to take anything away from Cody, and there's two sides to this. There's one, that was no Hard Times promo. It was really good.
Like you said,
wrestling promo.
It's probably the best one he's done. I know he did one in ROH, which was real cool with Steve Corino.
Yeah.
Because where it was callbacks to Corino and Dusty from ECW. That was really cool too. But this one was like, it showed that connection that he can get with the fans.
The other side of that is, Hard Times is Dusty's best promo of all time.
Yeah.
It's one of, if not the best wrestling promo of all time. So saying that this was Cody's Hard Times means it's all downhill for Cody from here, and that's not fair to him either.
And
I
it's
want
not.
him to actually reach Hard Times.
Yeah.
Because Dusty has a million promos that are great.
Yeah.
And as good or better than that Cody one was. It's great. Hard Times it ain't. I understand people, it's hyperbole. People are just hyping it up, and they're more saying, like, this is when Cody arrived. This is when Cody says, like, this is, I'm here, I'm important, I deserve to be here. I get it. I get what people are thinking. But to me, you throw around Hard Times, like, that's the best promo of all time by one of the best wrestlers of all time in his prime, at the top of his game. That is a dude being the best, talking the best, and it lasts forever. People will be talking about that promo forever.
Yeah,
if you want to learn to be a professional wrestler and cut a promo, you watch Hard Times. You watch the cream of the crop. Yeah. You watch, I don't know, Ultimate Warrior snarl at something, talk about nosedive in the airplane.
Hogan!
Hogan! It rubbed me the wrong way. And I get what they're doing. Some of this, I'm just being an asshole for asshole's sake. But don't... It's unfair. Everybody complains, he only got in the door because his dad's Dusty. But then as soon as he does something good, they're like, oh, that's just like Dusty.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I get it. But
I feel like people conveniently lean on the Dusty thing when they want to.
Yes.
Like you said, if he does something not so good, he's not his dad.
Yeah.
And he does something like last night. Oh, well, that's just like his dad. It's not Cody's fault, and it's unfair to him, I think, for those people to just go, Hard Times, that's Hard Times. Like, Cody didn't say, oh, this is my Hard Times.
Yeah.
I saw, on Twitter today, I saw The Rock giving him props saying that was an amazing promo. He's like, the cadence, the passion, just everything. He goes, and he said, you dropped the fucking mic in that promo, because that was amazing.
It was, and it was really good, and he's arrived, and I hope he can keep it at that level.
I do too.
Hard Times wasn't one Dusty Rhodes promo that was really good. Dusty's had a string of them. Dusty did them all. And there's a million other promos. They're all popping into my head now, of course.
I know. I want to go watch them all right now.
Yeah, Terry in '89 with Funk, or Terry Funk with Flair, when he brings the kid out with the yellow stripe on his back. He's like, I brought Flair. He's yellow. I told you he's a yellow stripe. All that stuff. It's just so good. But it just, I want Cody to keep a string of these. I want him to keep building, keep going. And one day I hope we do get his real Hard Times. This was a good promo.
Yeah.
It was a great promo. Again, the best he's done. But Hard Times, baby. It ain't Hard Times.
My hand is reaching out.
Yeah.
Touching your hand.
Yeah.
That shit gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, it's just goosebumps. And Cody came close there when he choked up. I get it. It was really good. But, man, just that Hard Times thing, that's rough. Yeah. That's a hard one. People do that all the time where they throw around wrestlers or comparisons, and you hear they did it even on the show. Pac is like JR said, he's Dynamite Kid and the British Bulldog. It's like, no, he's Pac. He's Pac. Come on. You're setting a guy up to not only not be himself, but also to live to just a standard of professional wrestling that was very hard to hit.
It's fun to compare. It is, but if you take it too literal, you're gonna sour on people. And no, let these people stand on their own. Yeah, it is fun to compare. I do it all the time. I'm guilty of it. But at the same time, it's I like a Pac match. I'm not gonna say, oh, that's just like the British Bull. No, it's him. He's his own individual.
I love the promo. I'm gonna move on from it now.
I agree.
But Hard Times, it is not. Daddy, listen here.
Next match we had, which this is news to me, for a tag title shot at Full Gear.
Yeah, they added them to the match, so it's a 3-way tag match.
I fully expect this.
What happened there?
I don't know, but I feel like this is going to start the show for Full Gear because it's going to be hot.
Yeah, probably just wanted to maybe they wanted to get Private Party a payday for the pay-per-view or something. I don't know. It's weird. They just lost in the tournament. Now they're right into the match.
Yeah, well, they were promoting it as the bronze medal match or something bronze medal match, So it's Private Party versus Dark Order.
Because we all know that third place gets the challenge gold every time.
Of course. Winner of the match gets added to SCU versus Lucha Brothers at Full Gear. Private Party won over Dark Order. It was okay.
It was fine.
Right team won.
Dark Order's got some cool combo moves.
They do
a lot of cool stuff together. I still don't understand them.
Stu.
Somebody made Evil Uno put on a shirt.
Yeah, which bums me out. Like, so what? He's a big fat guy who doesn't wear a shirt. Who cares? We need that in wrestling. We do. You're fucking me up because you got to sneeze.
I have to sneeze really bad, and I tried to hide it, and Brett did not let that happen.
You can't do that in front of me. Yes, you know that.
It's gone now, so now it's staying on the show because I'm never going to remember where this was.
Well, you don't need to cut it out. This is real, brother.
Oh, it's real. Shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
So anyway, Dark Order, I wish they would do video packages on these guys so we can at least understand something about them. Why are they friends?
Yeah.
Why is this evil, large, demonic man friends with a guy named Stu who wears a sweater tied around? I don't get it.
Is that like a Celtic warrior or
I don't
something?
know. Why does he have an altar of goons?
Yeah.
Just a 30-second video package would explain this guys to me. But Private Party won like they should have. Isaiah Cassidy's got to stop with the screaming shit.
Chucky T
did it, and it worked for Chucky T because Chucky would do the comedy stuff and it made sense. This dude's just doing it at random spots. Nobody understands it.
Yeah.
It's jarring. And again, it's just a thing that doesn't make sense. So unless you can tell me why you're doing it, just stop. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, it happened. It was whatever. Private Party's on the pay-per-view.
Yep.
Good for them. I'm sure they'll be good in that match. They're having fun.
Next, we had a video package.
We did.
For Chris Jericho, which was just a total spoof off of the one with Cody and Brandy a couple weeks ago.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God, was this amazing.
It was really funny.
I love it. He gave Sammy the kiss on the head when he's walking out of the room. The most important part, though, and you'll say the name. Go ahead.
Soul Train Jones.
Damn
the
right,
AEW
baby.
debut of Soul Train Jones.
Yeah.
The meat sauce master.
Yeah. Vincent,
if you will. If you will. That was hilarious. They did a little thing, just him talking about knowing Chris forever. And, there's some funny stuff. My favorite part. Big Verge. My favorite part was that Jericho was sitting in the ice bath with his scarf on.
With the scarf and the hat, and he's just spitting champagne
into the tub. Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
It was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And every time when they would put the camera on Hager and he just wouldn't say anything, and he looked like an idiot.
Yeah, that was funny too. You shouldn't let that guy talk. So
were they calling him the Big Hurt?
Yeah, they were.
There's only one Big Hurt, and that's Frank Thomas. God damn it. All right. I'm a little pissed about it.
I mean, he's out here pumping Nugenics or whatever on the TV.
I would take Frank Thomas over Jake Hager.
Testosterone pills.
Yeah. This was seriously
Wasn't Roy Nelson the Big Hurt too?
No, he's Big Country.
Big Country.
He would just slap his belly and he would win.
Yeah.
There was seriously so much fun.
It was really funny.
I would suggest watching it because you'll get a laugh out of it.
It
was so much fun. Next matchup, we had Emi Sakura and the returning Jamie Hayter.
Yep.
Happy to see her back on television. Going up against Riho and Shauna.
Who I'm happy to see back on television from last week.
Yeah.
Hayter and Shauna were very good in their debuts.
Yes, very, very good in the debuts. I agree.
Yeah.
It was cool because Riho and Emi Sakura have the women's title match at Full Gear.
It's how you build up for a title match at a pay-per-view. You have the opponents face each other in a tag. You wait for them to tag, be in the ring together, build all that suspense.
Yeah, so Emi Sakura and Jamie Hayter got the win.
Yes.
Emi got that little cradle on Rio at the end, still to show, like, teacher didn't teach the student everything. And that classic story.
She's going to lose at the pay-per-view because that's what you do.
Of course, that's Wrestling 101.
It was a little too long.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are way too long.
Yeah.
Brandy Rhodes video package.
Satanist Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah. Can we just stop? Because I just
listen.
I don't get it.
Again,
I understand you have your creative freedom.
Yeah.
And you're the chief brandy officer. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
I agree. Although this was better than the awkward staring and whatever they did last week. At least she's talking. She's not a bad promo in this. I'm sure it was recorded. It was taped, so I'm sure they've done it over and over again. But it wasn't terrible. And I'm glad we're gonna get Awesome Kong.
Sure.
Or no. Yeah.
Yeah, Awesome Kong.
Yeah. But when I watch it, I've ruined it for myself because when I see her, I just think Kevin Sullivan is the devil. And I hope that's where they go with this. I know they won't. But I want her to come out with like the squiggly lines on the forehead And
you wanted to be the Taskmaster.
I wanted to
Brady
be the
Rhodes.
Taskmaster.
All right.
And I want people to believe that she's actually Satan, just like they did with Kevin Sullivan. And because people believe Kevin Sullivan was really the devil.
What if? All right, listen to me.
Bring in Kevin Sullivan.
I'm going to spitball.
He's
something
out there
at you right now. What if Dandy? Listen to me.
El Dandy.
El Dandy.
I'm with you.
What if Brandy and El
it's
Dandy?
not Awesome Kong, but Brandy brings out El Dandy?
All right, I'll buy stock in the company.
Okay.
What if Brandy starts the Dungeon of Doom 2
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo?
No, 100%. Yeah.
We have, it'll be Aja Kong versus Awesome Kong in a monster truck match.
Okay, perfect.
I can't do this.
All right.
Who would be your dream Dungeon of Doom 2 of the AEW Women's Division?
I don't even
Who
know.
would be the Shark?
I don't even know. Who would be the Shark? I mean, it would kind of. All you have to do is just like shave down the teeth on Evil Uno's mask. Oh, it's got to be. See, to get the Shark properly, you have to get a very successful, very underrated, very talented wrestler, and tell him you have a great new gimmick for him, and then just go completely bad with it.
So, who, after the big beatdown of Aja Kong at AEW Halloween Havoc,
Okay.
who is going to come out to awkwardly hump Aja Kong dressed as the Yeti? Who would be that person?
Well,
Wardlow.
There it is.
Wardlow.
There it is. I think we just solved this shit.
Oh, I need to move on because I'm not going to be able to get off that.
All right, we figured that out right away.
Yeah, we did. Am I the one drunk this week?
So yeah, I mean, I guess Brandy's saying maybe she's not going to wrestle anymore. Who knows? There's been worse decisions made. But yeah, so that happened, and then it goes right into
Another thing that happened.
in a match for Brandon Cutler. Is that his name?
Yep.
Brandon J. Cutler versus Sean Spears.
Yep. Yep.
The whole purpose of this was to fast track the Janela Spears thing for the pay per view.
Yeah, I imagine that'll be on Full Gear now.
Yeah, they said it was.
Oh, okay.
Spears just basically squashed
That's all it
Brandon
was,
Cutler.
and that's Brandon Cutler's role.
It felt like an
is what it
overrun
is.
from AEW Dark,
It
honestly.
really did.
Janela Spears is whatever. I mean, Janela will bump like crazy for him, try and make him interesting.
I feel like that might be on. If they're doing like a buy-in show
Maybe.
for this one?
Yeah.
I feel like that's where that'll be.
It was weird. Everything else they've taken so much care, and then they realized like, oh, maybe we should have another match on the show.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Janela's done some really fun stuff. He's done some not so fun stuff. Spears peaked with like his first appearance.
And that
was really it. So it was a weird match to lead into an even weirder program that will probably only last through this pay-per-view. They just wanted to have a little bit of heat, a little bit of meat behind the pay-per-view match.
Yeah,
but Spears won, obviously.
Yes.
And Janela came out, and then it looked like for a second Tully was going to get in the ring and beat the shit out of
that
Joey.
would have been amazing.
But
he would have worked him more than Enzo Amore did.
it's true.
Good hype video for Moxley Omega, I thought, for the pay-per-view. I assume with the lights out, that's going to close the show, but I can't wait for it. Which led into the main event of Omega and Hangman going up against Le Champion, Jericho, and the Spanish God.
Yep.
Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really did.
For sure. I'll say the first thing I noticed is that Jericho's working his way back into shape a little bit.
I didn't notice.
He looked good. He looked not good.
Yeah.
He looked as good as Jericho could look. Looks better than Jericho has looked.
I'm going to tell you a dirty little secret. I watched AEW last second after NXT, and I fell asleep during the main event.
Okay.
So I woke up at about 2 a.m., and I had to rewatch it. Okay. So I may need to even go back and rewatch it again. From what I remember, it was really good.
It was good. I liked it a lot.
What I really, remember, well, I kind of got where Pac came in, low-blowed Hangman.
Yeah.
Jericho almost killed Hangman with the Judas effect.
Oh, dude, if he can hit the Judas effect like that every time, he murdered him with that Judas effect.
Most devastating move in the history of life.
Jericho was shocked that he can throw that thing at 3/4 speed as opposed to 1/4 speed like he normally does.
What do you mean? It's gotten even faster.
It's true.
So this,
I hear he hit him twice. You just didn't see it.
Well, I would believe it. This led to all-out brawl, which again seemed to be a running theme this week on a lot of wrestling television.
Right? Yeah, so Pac hit Paige, cost the match. Cody hit Sammy. Hagar comes down, right? MJF hits Hagar with the chair. Throws Jericho to Cody. Mox shows up with a barbed wire baseball bat. The camera cuts to the brawl on the entrance ramp. Then we go back into the ring, and Kenny has somehow acquired his stupid barbed wire broom.
That was so dumb.
Because he's the cleaner, the hardcore cleaner. And then the Bucks came down.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned earlier in the show, in their gear, even though they weren't booked, because it's supposed to be a brawl, but those guys always wear their fringe. I hate it. But anyway.
Yeah. Moxley and Omega, they just start kicking the shit out of each other, where it results in Nick climbing up on the set, doing the big dive off the set.
Huge brawl.
Yeah. It felt like it honestly felt like a Nitro.
Yeah.
Like an old Nitro where WCW NWO would be brawling as they're going off the air. Because they're going off the air and everybody's still just swinging.
Yeah.
So
it was good.
Super hot.
They teased like the power bomb through the table, like Santana and Ortiz did to Ricky Morton.
Yeah.
It was just a really good, really hot brawl. Super hot, you know what I mean? No.
It was so hot.
This, to me, felt like a go-home for a show before a pay-per-view. The rest of the card didn't.
I agree.
Pac Trent is good match, holding pattern. Like, everybody, a little bit here and there. The women's tag match kind of advanced the story to the show a little bit. But it didn't feel like a go-home show until this last 3 to 4 minutes.
I could see what they did with Pac because they did the same thing with Hangman last week, where it was, hey, he got the win over somebody, and then the little promo afterwards, like, you know, Pac just being like, oh, you could use a cuss word. Well, guess what? Like, I'm going to make an example out of you. Like, you know, it was all slight build. It was indirect building to there. But at the end, it all just exploded, and everybody against everybody, which was a lot of
chaos. It all looked good. It's how you hype up for a pay-per-view.
Yeah. What was your favorite match on the show?
So my match of this show was the main event.
Okay.
Yeah. The Elite versus the Inner Circle, essentially what it was, for the most part. It's just fun. I really like. It was hard again. This one, I did really like Pac and Trent. I was really excited for it. But the main event did what it needed to do. Was a ton of fun. The brawl, again, kind of made up for if any sort of shortcomings the match may have had. The brawl kind of turned it around. That is a whole segment jammed together. Yeah. That's my match. That's my match of this show.
I'm going to go with Pac and Trent.
Okay.
Thought it was a super hot opener.
It was.
You knew what was going to happen. Like, you knew the outcome. But Trent looked good.
They
made him look real good.
It was hard. This one actually, because I write them down so I remember.
Yeah.
And I had to kind of sit with it for a while. So another 1-1A kind of thing. But just because that's the way you're supposed to end a go home show, that's what gave it that little bit of a push for me.
Yeah.
But Trent Pac was really good.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to talk which was the better show, or do you want to talk about the rundown of the Full Gear card?
Well, let's do overall match of the night and who had the better show, and then we'll get into the cards since we can button this up.
For overall match of it, I feel like it's again like last week. Nothing blew me away.
Yeah,
there was some real solid stuff between Shayna, Dakota, and Pac Trent. I feel like, again, it's 1A, 1B, but, again, for argument's sake, I'm going to go with Pac and Trent.
Okay.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. I enjoyed this stuff with OC. I just enjoyed everything about it.
All right.
I think he looks like a killer going into Saturday.
Definitely. All right. For me, between the Club versus NXT, essentially, and the Elite versus the Inner Circle, I'm going Club versus NXT.
Okay.
Again, a hard decision. Very similar matches.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between the shows. Very similar stuff.
But the way they let Riddle go off, the way they paired the wrestlers up, getting to see AJ wrestle Riddle, getting to see Carl Anderson square off against Ciampa, Keith Lee doing Keith Lee, that we've liked so much the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he really is. I've come around on him a lot.
That match for me was a ton of fun. And as hyped as I was for NXT sort of invading everywhere, it was a cool little capper. I'm sure it'll keep going.
Oh, yeah.
But that is my match of the night. And I'm giving NXT show of the night.
Okay.
Very close. Both of them, I felt the undercards could have been better, should have been better. Basically, they both had that one match that really stood out on the undercard, which would be Trent and Pac and Baszler and Kai. Those were the matches that sort of stood out. Everything else was fine, fine to less than fine, but not bad by any means. Well, the 10-hour match was pretty bad. But NXT just, the finished the main event, I'm giving it to them overall. Very, very close. But AEW, they could have been. For a go-home show, I feel the undercard should have been a little stronger. So,
all right. So, what NXT. Are you overall with the rankings for? This is week 6 now.
I think I am 4-2.
4-2 for NXT.
For NXT.
All right. So, for me, same thing. Super close.
Yeah.
I felt like NXT had the better overall wrestling on the show.
We are a wrestling podcast, so you agree with me. Good.
Well. Even though Tenora and that match, which that should not be on television.
No.
I'm sorry, it just shouldn't. AEW, I felt had 2 solid matches, but felt like they had the bigger moments. The Cody promo and the big schmoz at the end.
Sure.
I thought like those felt huge. The crowd was super into it, no matter if the arena was half full, which they did a very good job hiding that. Because the pictures that came out today, you're going, I am going to go with NXT.
Wow.
I am just super into the women's division right now.
So you do agree with me.
The main crossover.
Yeah.
I think the thing that put it over the top for me too was that Dijak Swerve match too. That I thought you had 3 really good to great matches on that show. And again, like the build up stuff, the stuff with Finn at the end. I thought, so I'm going to go NXT again, not by much.
What was your match of the night?
My match of the night was Pac.
Okay, interesting. So best match on the one show, the other show wins.
But I think the other show had more quality
That might be
matches.
the first time that's happened.
Yeah. I think it's more quality matches.
Yeah.
Because, again, though, it was not far off.
Yeah, it's like very, very
I don't think
close.
either show was blow away.
No.
But they were still solid shows. They both had their flaws.
For sure.
But, yeah, I'm going to be 3-3 on NXT.
All right. Well, and, let's see. What did the ratings say?
What did the fans at home think?
What do you fans at home think?
Yeah.
So ratings went up this week because the World Series is over.
Yeah.
So they
ratings for everything went up.
They readjusted. It's looking like AEW had 822,000.
Okay.
With a 0.35 in the core demo there, which is up from 759,000 last week.
Yeah.
So that's the World Series bump back up.
World Series is back.
NXT had 813,000.
Okay.
Up from 580. So they gained like 250 just about. Which is not only a World Series bump, it's they cross over with the main roster bump.
Of course, because now casual fans, they're going to want to follow the story.
So they pulled the 0.3 in the main demo, and so they're AEW won again. They've won every week.
Yeah, 6-0.
So Bischoff's going to start a new podcast about it soon. But 822,000 to 813,000. That's, if my math's correct, that's only 9,000 away.
Yeah, you know what? It's more eyes on wrestling,
right?
And definitely the crossover has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, for sure. But hopefully those people stick around. This is more how I imagined it would be. I imagined it would sort of level out eventually, so hopefully it sticks up there for NXT.
Yeah.
I think this is around where AEW will stay, which is a huge win for them. They've gone and said, they were hoping for 500,000. They're up well above that.
I think that they're kind of... I don't think that's true.
No?
No.
You think they're upset?
No, I think that their projection is right around where they wanted to be.
Okay.
I think they're just saying that for ear candy for certain people.
Squeaking right outside the top 5 on cable every week it's a good spot to be.
Oh, for sure. You should be proud of it.
For sure. And, even with all that, the picture, we mentioned it briefly before, there's some pictures floating around of like half of the arena blacked out, which they didn't show on camera at all during the show.
They did a very good job hiding it. Even I noticed last night the crowd, it was all dark.
The crowd was loud.
Yeah.
People are saying, "Oh, maybe this was from dark," but the seats were like covered and roped off, so they just didn't sell them, and that's a bummer. Charlotte is a huge wrestling town.
Yeah.
And the crowd was still super loud, but
I know from some of the first shows, scalpers ate it right up because it was a hot ticket.
Yeah,
I don't know how much of that is scalpers. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to try to guess.
I'm not going to jump to conclusions or say that they need to do anything about it or move on from this or that, or start booking smaller show venues or whatever. It's just an interesting thing to keep an eye on because those pictures will get out. Fans will take them,
of course,
whether they're the WWE people that just want another reason to bash them, or concerned AEW fans.
SmackDown gets crucified for stuff like that.
True.
Let's be fair.
It's
they
true.
do. They get killed for stuff like that.
Definitely.
Again, this is only AEW's 6th week on television, but let's be fair.
Yeah.
That it's not a good look.
And they're not losing money on the road. You know what I mean?
But it's just not a good look.
It's not a good look. It shows that sort of hypocrisy and sort of problem with certain sections of the fan base where they'll apologize profusely for AEW and then try and bury Vince or Trips or whoever, or NXT's only in the small venue and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. I'm not worried about it in any way. But the people on AEW's roster that like to feed and fuel that sort of talk about WWE blacking out fan seats and all that should maybe stop a little bit.
I'm with you. So, Saturday.
Yeah, let's talk about it. We got a pay-per-view coming up.
Yes, we do. We have Full Gear live from Baltimore, Maryland.
Yep.
We will be watching.
We will.
So, let's do a rundown of the card.
All right. That's all you, because I got no idea.
Well, and it's funny because on Ad Odds, they do that little segment of Joe knows the card. I'm not going to do that to you.
No, because I don't know it.
Pre-show. They announced for the pre-show.
Okay.
It is going to be Bea Priestley versus Britt Baker.
Okay. On the pre-show.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of surprised us on the pre-show.
Yeah, they give it a little promo time. I mean, they haven't really shown off in the ring at all. So,
do you want to do predictions?
We can.
Right.
I'm more than happy to.
Who you got?
I mean, Britt Baker. They love her.
I got Brie.
I would rather see B.
I have B.
If she's as injury causing as they say, and as much as they love Britt, and there wasn't a ton of build to this.
No.
So Britt winning this can kind of go on to wherever.
Okay.
I would assume title shot.
I don't want another one so quick again.
But who knows? Maybe B uses it for her title. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna say Britt wins.
All right, I'll go B.
All right.
Joey Janela versus Shawn Spears.
Oh God. Spears, because they're trying. They want to.
I'm gonna go Spears too. Yeah. I think that they're gonna try to rehab him the best that they can. Next up, 3-way tag title match. We have SCU, the champs, against the Lucha Brothers against Private Party.
SCU retain. They're not going to have a title switch.
I'm same with you. I wouldn't be surprised if they drop the belts already.
I wouldn't be either if they put them on the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah,
but they won't lose it that quickly.
I don't think they will either. So I'm with you on that.
No.
Next match for the AEW Women's World Championship: Riho versus Emi Sakura.
Yeah, Rio. Emi just got the pin in that tag match. Rio wins.
Yep.
Again, they're not going to... I imagine that because they're so opposite, WWE's sort of thinking they like to say they are, the titles aren't going to change that often right now.
Yeah.
They'd rather... I'm not going to say they're going to go necessarily a New Japan-style run with these belts, but... I think they're going to stay. At least these lower card ones are going to stay around.
I'm with you
on who they are.
Hangman versus Pac.
That's a tough one. Because the crowd is chanting cowboy shit.
They are. I think there's more meat on the bone with Pac.
Me too.
I'm going to go Pac.
Yeah, I think Pac.
Yeah. I'm going to go Pac on that
Yeah.
one. Okay, so we're both on the same page.
Yeah, I like Hangman. I'm not going to say he's grown on me, but I don't hate him as much as I once did.
I just still feel like he's not at that level yet.
He's not.
Like,
he's definitely not. But
I think he's going to have. I think it's going to be a great match.
Yeah.
But Pac is.
Yeah.
Pac's another level for me. Just normal tag match here. The Bucks against Santana and Ortiz.
Santana and Ortiz.
Same. I think it's like their first. Oh, it is their first big match.
Yep.
Don't have them lose already. Not to the Bucks.
The Bucks, they've actually, too surprising, haven't been booking themselves to the top. So
yeah,
Santana and Ortiz, I think. Yeah.
For the AEW World Championship and the stipulation of Cody loses, never challenge for the title again, and keep in mind those 3 judges, just in case we go.
Are they doing that?
They haven't talked
they didn't
about
talk about
it.
it again. Did they scrap it?
I don't know.
We'll see. Maybe they want us to forget about it.
I want to forget about the idea of it. Jericho, Cody.
Cody.
Okay. I thought about this.
Yeah.
And I think this is where the MJF turn happens.
Okay.
I think he's going to cost Cody the belt.
Uh-huh.
And then they're going to start kind of a blood feud with Cody and MJF.
Okay.
You were supposed to be my best friend.
Yeah.
MJF, I was just using you. You never appreciated me. Uh-huh. I think this is where it's going to happen.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Jericho.
All right.
If I'm fantasy booking, excuse me.
Yeah.
But I just have that mindset. I don't know. I think if they're going to pull the trigger, this is the perfect opportunity to do it.
So I probably got suckered into this because, again, I don't really think they're going to take that belt off Jericho yet necessarily. Maybe they don't want to. I don't think they're going to do a ton of title changes. The stipulation, Cody's announcement did to me what it was supposed to do. Am I really going to believe that Cody will never be able to get challenged for that belt again?
Never say never in the world of professional wrestling.
I know, but it's weird to start off that way. NWA just did a very similar thing with Tim Storm in the first thing on Power, where if he lost, he'd never get the challenge again. But that dude's like 60 years old.
He's also 55 years old.
So
that's more believable.
Yeah. So that it's interesting to me that that's how this goes. The reason why I say Cody is because I think the him and Jericho thing are going to be happening for a while. Clearly, they're going to go into the match beyond Elite versus Inner Circle.
Okay.
If they go the 60 minutes, because why have these judges if they're not going to go the distance?
Oh, God, I hope not.
And Cody wins via decision. Jericho can cause
a
shitstorm.
Yeah.
About, well, you said you're not going to challenge for this belt again, but you're the boss and you hired these judges, and they can do that. Have Jericho play chase a little bit.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily switch it back. I think Jericho was a champion to get eyes on the company in the beginning.
I agree.
I think with this promo, I think with this never being able to challenge again, unless Stardust comes out and is like, Cody can't challenge, but Stardust is.
Oh hell!
Which is dumb.
Just like Mr.
Maybe I got exactly. Maybe I got bamboozled by this promo. That's possible. They could have got me, but I think that they're going to do something to screw Jericho out of it, and that way he can come out on TV and whine and complain and
just cut hilarious promos, I'm sure.
And then whoever the judges are can get involved, and so on and so forth. I'm saying Cody. But I'm not confident in it.
You know what? I'm totally fine with your thinking.
I think the opportunity there to screw Jericho and have him be the shitty heel chasing Cody sort of thing.
I'm totally fine with your thinking.
Yeah.
I like my idea too. Obviously, it's my idea. But I would be just as stoked if that happens too with you. So I like that.
See.
Final match, the non-sanctioned Lights Out match. Moxley Omega. I know, right?
This one's even harder.
I agree. This one I'm like, I have no fucking clue.
So they made a big deal about Omega losing matches in the beginning. You know, had he lost his smile, whatever. And Mox has been crazy, and he got injured, and he's back, and he's arguably the biggest name in the company. We don't really know much about Lights Out matches either. Like,
it's just the non-sanctioned stuff.
yeah,
so
it's
like Mox
we don't
and
know
Janela.
Yeah, we don't know the rules. Like,
There are no rules.
Yeah, but like, what leads to a no contest, if you will?
I don't think there would be anything leading to it. No, so there has to be a winner.
There has to be a winner.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can't
right.
unless they do like the whole. They just lay there and nobody gets up.
Yeah, that's.
But I think that'd be a terrible finish.
Has to be a winner.
Yeah.
Moxley doesn't have any friends.
He doesn't.
Kenny does.
He does.
You can tell this wasn't planned because I'm literally just brainstorming this out, talking this out right now.
Same, honestly. I haven't. What little I have thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going Mox. I'm going to say Mox because he's the name, because they want to establish him as crazy. Kenny, is Kenny, and everybody loves him, and of course he's going to have that belt at some point in that company. But Mox, I think, again, you want to put eyes on people, or eyes on people. You want people to have eyes, and you want those eyes to be on your show. Mox is a pretty good guy to have in main events, winning matches, challenging for belts. So I'm going to say Mox. It's more his style of match. Kenny, you're going to put barbed wire bat versus barbed wire broom. Barbed wire bat wins every time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Mox. Again, not 100% sure, but I'm going Mox.
I think it'll hurt Kenny less if he loses.
Yes, that's another good point.
Mox, like you mentioned, this is his type of match.
Yeah.
This is his domain. I think it makes sense for Mox to win. I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny wins.
Yeah.
But I think it would hurt Mox more in the long run if he loses.
Sure.
So I'm going to go with Mox.
Okay, we're pretty close.
Yeah.
2 matches we differ on.
You can tell we watch wrestling together, right?
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. So that is Saturday night, Full Gear.
Yep.
Live on pay-per-view. We will be watching.
And recording it right after.
You're damn right we will.
So there'll be a little special episode out.
Late Saturday. Well, it'll be Sunday morning, I'm sure, after midnight.
Yeah.
Because the show's probably going to go to like 11 or 11.
Yeah, so. I don't think the show will be too long. We'll just run through the card.
Yeah.
So
if anything interesting happens between now and then, you know.
So we'll, so look forward to that. We'll put it out everywhere.
Yeah.
But you got anything else, pal?
No, man. It was a long week and a lot to keep track of.
It was.
I'm thankful it was majority good and not bad.
Yep.
Between
we're getting good wrestling shows still. So.
All of this stuff.
Yeah.
Me waking up stupid hours to watch New Japan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seeing the company that Jericho keeps on a personal level.
Yeah. Jericho
for him.
Whatever. Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Not what I was talking about, but okay.
Oh, you were talking.
The other thing. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the company of New Japan.
Where everyone was shocked that an old wrestler didn't keep the best company necessarily.
Well, fuck me for not realizing.
Yeah,
that.
well, whatever.
I try not to pay attention to that.
Dude's pushing a book. Jericho's promoting a show. Whatever.
Pushing a podcast.
Everybody needs to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
They're not my favorite people in the world, but if you sat back and thought old Coke Eyes Chris Jericho was a good human being, you could maybe need to reassess your other thoughts in your life here.
Here's a hint about professional wrestling. Most professional wrestlers are shitty.
The carny succubuses. But then Jericho Tana, so that's gonna be good too.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, so good for him.
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic.
Hit the social media, my friend.
Social media. So, soon-to-be-named network, our podcast, Home Away From Home, at STBN Network. That's where we live, along with other things like your Todd's with Wrestling, your Long Box Heroes, your Pod Van Dam. Are they part of that?
I don't think so.
No, they're just friends?
Yeah.
I don't know. You can see how much research I do. But thanks for being there, guys. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Give them a listen, too. Look them up. Longbox Hero if you're in the comics. Todd's with Wrestling. You can find that one. If you're listening to this, you probably know them already. We're on Twitter at Wednesday War Pod. Same thing with Facebook. You can track us down. Interact with us on the social meds. I just shortened that right now. I thought it was a good idea.
The social meds. Boy, are you fucking hip.
Right? You can talk wrestling with us. We have fun. We blow up your feed on the Wednesdays because we're both hitting it at the same time.
Yeah, I know. It's
opposite shows, blowing that sky high, interacting with some people, talking here or there,
focusing on that, focusing on the Sixers losing last night.
If you watch the feed close enough, you can see me delete personal tweets when I don't realize which Twitter account I'm.
I had to do that last night.
Yep, a lot of fun. Yep. So there's that. You can email the show at WednesdayNightWarPod@gmail.com. Questions for the show, something you want us to talk about that we haven't talked about, something you want us to go in more depth of, you want to hear more of my Dusty Rose impression, if you want to complain to me that I forgot to do a This Week in Kevin Nash, although he did get a mention. We did talk about him. We didn't have it this week.
It'll be back once there isn't an insane amount of wrestling to talk about.
He keeps getting bumped for time.
Yeah.
You can check us out at WednesdayNightWarPod.podbean.com. That's our, RSS feed. Is that what they call that thing?
I think so.
And then, obviously, again, if you're listening, you've already found us, but if you're going to tell your friends, we're on iTunes, we're on the Google, we're on Spotify, we're on Stitcher, we're on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and the YouTubes.
Don't surprise me with anything.
Nothing.
Nothing left to
There's
surprise
nothing else
me
to
with.
surprise you with.
All right.
I've done all the work I possibly can to put this stuff up. Discovered that Podbean will put it up automatically to YouTube since I linked the account.
Oh, nice.
So, that's I'm done on that kind of effort.
There's nothing left.
No, my next effort is eventually to build us a proper website.
Oh,
and
boy.
Then maybe I'll start writing some columns on wrestling, go a little more in depth than we do on the show.
Ooh,
don't hold me to that. I'm notoriously lazy and overpromise.
Damn, are
all
you
the time.
ambitious?
And it's never gonna. I could design a website. That's what I pretty much kind of do for a
columns
living.
now?
But no, I'm not. I haven't, but I could. I've thought about it. I've entertained the idea.
Damn, you're like a regular Skip Bayless. That's how he started.
Wow.
Yeah.
A regular Skip Bayless.
That was you.
Great. Super pumped. I'm going to go jump off a roof.
Sorry, friend.
Personal-wise, you can check me out at The Dooge. That's TheDooge. There you can talk comics, other wrestling, other wrestling, other wrestling, and then like movies and stuff sometimes. We do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Brett, where can they find you?
So, if you would like to interact with me about how good the creamsicle rain drink is, because I finally had it last weekend, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You want to talk about how I'm, thinking Teen Titans Go is hilarious.
Yes, it is.
And then if you would also like to talk to me about drunken noodles.
Ooh.
Because I had it for dinner last Friday, but then I also had it twice this week.
All right.
You can find
if you want to social meet us about a really awkward Rocky Horror Picture Show screening we attended.
Okay, so listen, just real quick, that was my first Rocky Horror Picture Show screening. It was awkward as fuck, but I loved throwing toast. I loved cursing.
Most of our audience isn't going to understand
I loved throwing
any of this.
rice at people.
Yeah.
That was fun as shit.
All right, good.
And I can't wait to go to
a real one.
Good one.
Yep.
But that was at BrettXEdge570. Thank you very much.
There you go. So that's our interactions. Otherwise, we'll be back Saturday. That's kind of quick.
Yeah.
I don't see it going very long.
Last time we recorded on a Saturday, we started after 3 o'clock in the morning.
That is true.
That's not going to happen this time.
No. But yeah, that's it. We'll see you Saturday. And, you do this. You do your thing, buddy.
I'm going to do what I do. Pro wrestling. Let's go.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
What's up, Warheads? That was probably really loud. I can't do that one at all.
What's up, Warheads?
What's up, Warheads?
Mercy. Listen to the podcast. Are you still recording?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
fucker, I didn't know that.
Oh my god.